Hello friends, it's good to have you here today. Very happy to join with all of you, particularly at this moment, as everywhere you can see, everybody is happy, at the start of the year, and that is why I titled this video "Welcoming 2021." A lot went on this past year. It wasn't easy, but of course, a lot of us have so many things to be grateful for. And that's why I determined today to connect with, my friends and to throw some few tips. We know a lot of persons, when the year starts like this, everybody begins to make they call it New Year resolutions. But ask yourself, the resolutions that you made at the start of 2020, how far were you able to go? All the resolutions you made at 2020 inception, if you take stock, were you able to achieve the goals that you itemized? That is the essence why I decided to make this video, so that we can talk. And feel free at any point in time to drop your comments below, particularly if you have one or two things that you want us to talk about. But my advice for you, dear friends, is whatever it is that you like to attain or to achieve, have it as a goal. Even if it's a very big goal before you, which motivational speakers would always say long-term goals. I want to advise that this year, try to have a small jotter, like a book. Jot it down, the goals, where you want to be, your long-term goals. Then see how you can section it into small, short-term goals for yourself and take it little by little. But the most important thing is have it written down. Possibly you can collapse the goals and hang it somewhere, either in your room or in your parlor, so that every day when you wake up, you see the goal, you look at it and ask yourself, where am I in the achievement of this desired goal? So break it down. Now, for many of my friends who are already working secularly, those who are gainfully employed, of course, this last year with the COVID-19 and all, a lot of people lost their jobs. For example, I have a friend who was working in an oil company. We connected some few months back. Sad to say, he told me that during the downsizing, it affected him and he lost his job. So for those of us who are secularly employed, I want to encourage you, try to learn the ropes of whatever business that you are into. What I mean is this: if you are working with a company, try to get the knowledge that that company, whatever work that they are doing, whether you're in the banking sector, whether you are in the engineering sector, or whether you are in the insurance company, or whatever place you are working, try to get the most knowledge from that company, so that when you probably either you resign or they ask you to leave, you are going out of the company with a head filled with the thorough knowledge, complete knowledge of what they do. So you can replicate it on your own if you wish to so start a business in a very small way, and you keep moving ahead. Or if you cannot do that with that knowledge, you can seek employment elsewhere. The only challenge is that I want us to take note that this period that we are into is a period that is like a change. They call it new normal. That's what a lot of persons used to say, new normal. A lot of companies now, many of their staffs, particularly those corporate bodies, you find out that a lot of them are already working, their staffs are already working from home. And in no longer time, if they see that they can still be able to achieve their work, if they can still make their profit, you'll find out that they would rather want to downsize. Since a lot of persons can work from home and they still achieve their you know, quota. So what I want to encourage is, if you have any, if you are passionate about any skill at all that you like to have, try to develop that skill. Develop that skill. Begin to add knowledge. Read about that skill. If it's even possible, be humble. Go to those who are already established in that you know, area, and try to learn, you know, that skill from them, so that you can start up something as a small business. If you add value to yourself in that way, you will find out that eventually you will be able to provide some services to other people, whether it is sales, whether it is service, whether you have a product you want to sell. Just acquire that skill and try to solve the basic problems of people. If you can do that, before long you'll be making, you know, some sales or some profits, and by the time you become an expert, you'll find out that you'll be able to make more money, and the business gradually will begin to grow. The reason why we are saying this, a news came up like last week. They titled the news, you know, online. I was reading an online newspaper, and they said federal government attempts to borrow 6.1 or 2 trillion from the 8 point something trillion pension funds. A friend of mine was now joking. The money that they are supposed to pay those who are going to resign from work, they want to borrow it. So what will those ones fall back on when they retire? Although another friend said insurance will cover the money and nothing will happen to it, they will be able to pay off. I am not an insurance person, so I don't know anything about that. Let's leave that to the experts. But logically, money that is supposed to be kept for some persons, you are spending it now. When the time comes for those ones to, you know, use that money as a retirement funds or something, and it's not available, what do you think may happen? No wonder we used to hear a lot of people on the queue, retirees queuing for their pension or whatever. Some of them will collapse, some of them will slump. Well, I am not saying that will happen. Nevertheless, it is good for us to plan now, so that we can have something to fall back on in the future. So whatever goals that you have prepared, put it on paper, split it into short-term goals, and periodically, you know, evaluate and see if you have been able to achieve your goal. One of those quotes, they say, if you want to be successful, make where you want to be a daily routine. Make it a force of habit, and eventually you'll be able to, you know, to succeed. If those goals are realized, you find out that you become fulfilled, you become accomplished, and you'll be happy as an individual. So this 2021, I want to encourage you, my dear friends, try to achieve your goals. If you are working in a company, try to get all those knowledge as complete as it can be, so that when you are out from there, you have something that you can start with and use as you know, either a business or something that can bring money back to you, so that your basic needs can be catered for. Don't be caught unawares. Be armed with the knowledge, and these days now we have information everywhere. You can get information from the internet and grow your knowledge gradually. Before you know it, you become a professional. As for me here, in some of my next videos with you, I'll be talking about your vehicles. Your vehicles. If your vehicle is having any, you know, kind of challenge or problem, feel free, drop a message for me either here, or if you go through my profile, you see our WhatsApp contact. You can send me a message. We'll discuss those problems together and see how it can be solved. At this point, I want to thank you for sparing your time to watch this video with me. Have a nice day. Thanks.